Hi, I'm Andy Aladort, and I'm going to show you how to play the Ozzy Osbourne Randy Rhoads classic, Crazy Train. When Randy Rhoads cut his guitar tracks for Blizzard of Oz and for the song Crazy Train, he routinely triple-tracked his rhythms and his leads, which created a slapback kind of a sound and a flanging kind of a sound when all those guitar tracks were run at the same time. So for me to replicate a similar sound just using one guitar, what I'm doing today is I've got an Ibanez tube screamer to increase the gain and the amount of distortion in the signal. I'm using a chorus pedal, a Boss CE2, to replicate the sound of more than one signal slightly overlapping. And I'm also using an analog delay on a short slapback echo with just a very small number of repeats, just to try to emulate the sound of more than one guitar playing at a time. On Blizzard of Oz, Randy Rhoads primarily used two different guitars. He used his 1970 Gibson Les Paul Custom that was white, and he used a polka dot Carl Sandoval Flying V that had tremolo arm on it. So when you hear arm, as you do in the solo on Crazy Train, that's the V. For amplifiers, he preferred 100-watt Marshalls. He used Plexi models, and he also used Master Volume JMP models. For effects pedals, Rhoads like to use an MXR Distortion Plus for distortion, an MXR 10-band EQ, an MXR flanger, and an MXR stereo chorus. All right, to emulate that sound today, guitar-wise, I'm using a Les Paul Standard with two humbucking pickups, which is the same pickup configuration Randy had on both of his guitars. And I'm also using a 100-watt Marshall amplifier with a 412 bottom, and this is a JCM 2000. All right, here's the intro. 1, 2, 3, and... All right, here's the intro played slowly. All right, here's the verse rhythm guitar part, which Randy introduces in the intro the first time. All right, here's the verse rhythm part played slowly. Here's the Crazy Train pre-chorus. 1, 2, 3, and... Here's the pre-chorus played slowly. On the pre-chorus, Randy Rhoads uses the technique not recommended for people who have skinny guitar necks, because you could snap it off, and it has happened, where he pushes on the headstock of the guitar while holding the body of the guitar steady to get a note to drop in pitch. So what I'm doing is I'm playing natural harmonics at the 7th fret on the D string and the G string. And while those two notes are ringing, sustaining, I secure the body of the guitar with my right arm and press on the headstock, pushing it away from me to create relief in the neck, which makes the pitch go down. Just don't snap the neck off. All right, here's the Crazy Train first chorus. right, here's the Crazy Train chorus played slowly. And when playing this little solo lick in the middle of the chorus, one of the things you should do that's important is to keep your fingers extended out in the same position with your index finger at the 2nd fret, above the 2nd fret, and your pinky above the 4th fret the whole time. It's also good to be on a little bit of a diagonal, which gives you more strength for hammer-ons and pull-offs during the lick. So when you play, having the pinky out there and the index finger barred across the top 2 strings at the 2nd fret gives you the right angle, strength, and leverage to execute the lick clearly. And it's also important to keep the pinky extended out there above the 5th fret the entire time, so when you land on that last note, you can apply a strong vibrato. During the next part, Randy interjects these little natural harmonics that fall somewhere inside the 2nd fret. So they're not quite as far up the fretboard as above the 2nd fret. They're just a little bit behind. And you can hear it makes for an unusual pitch, whereas it's a little more aggressive sounding. And as you move back on the string, the natural harmonic pitch goes higher. So the bottom of your finger lightly rests on top of the string without pushing the string down to the fretboard. Just the fleshy part of your finger is just resting on the string as simultaneous to picking it, and then you can release the finger pressure as small as it is so that that natural harmonic will sustain. Okay, here's the Crazy Train bridge. 2, 3, and. First part of the solo is devised from fretboard tapping. Okay, let's discuss the tapping lick first. Randy has his index finger of his fretting hand on the 11th fret of the G string, it's an F sharp. Pinky is on the 14th fret, that's an A. And he uses the pick to do the tapping on the 18th fret on a high C sharp. He taps the C sharp, pulls the pick off to sound the A that's already fretted, taps the C sharp again, pulls off again, and then pulls off from the pinky 14th fret to the index finger at the 11th fret, and then follows that by hammering back on to the 14th fret with the pinky. So it sounds like this. Then in the next bar, he moves the tap note up one more fret from the 18th fret up to the 19th fret to a D note while keeping the fret hand notes in the same position. That sounds like this. bends the G string at the 11th fret, up one whole step, and taps 3 frets higher with the edge of the pick. While he's bending and releasing the bend at the same time. And he slides down to the 9th fret and bends the note up a whole step to sound a F sharp, fretted with the ring finger, bent one whole step, and the pinky frets 10th fret of the B string, an A note. Okay, here's bars 5 through 8 of the Crazy Train solo. All right, here's bars 5 through 8, played slowly. All right, the first thing Randy does at this section of the solo is he executes what's called a rake by dragging the pick downward from the low strings to the high strings while the strings are muted. And the target note is a high A note, 17th fret of the E string. Have your index finger resting across the strings, lightly above them without pressing them down to the fretboard to get a muted sound. Another rake for the second lick. You've also got 2 bent vibratos. Line your fingers up behind the primary fretting finger, the ring finger, with the index and middle fingers also on the string, reinforcing the strength of the bend and the vibrato too. That's true for that bend as well. The second half of the lick, Randy plays a 16th note lick that utilizes hammerons and pull-offs based on F sharp Aeolian. And when he hits this E note, 17th fret of the B string, he uses the tremolo arm on his polka dot V to depress the pitch. So that note drops down in pitch and comes back up as he utilizes the arm. Okay, here's bars 9 through 12 of the Crazy Train solo. Okay, in this part of the solo, Randy executes a series of trills on the high E string. Actual correct technical name for these would be tremolos because the distance between the two notes is greater than a whole step. But in rock guitar and commonly, they're still referred to as trills, regardless of the fact that they are either a step and a half or 2 whole steps apart. So he starts with a step and a half, 14th fret to the 17th fret, quickly hammering on and pulling off. Then he slides up to the 16th fret and the 19th fret, and then the 17th fret and the 21st fret. Pulls back 1 fret with the index finger to go back to 16th, 19th, and ends the lick with a slide up 14, 15, 14 with the index. And this is a grace note because you fret on the 14th fret but immediately slide up to the 15th and pull back. Okay, here's the last 4 bars of the Crazy Train solo. All right, Randy begins this final 4-bar phrase with a repeated lick he plays 4 times. Then follows that up with a series of Hammerons playing 3 notes per string. All right, those are all the main sections of Crazy Train, so work on each one of those sections slowly and carefully, and you'll be going off the rails with Ozzy and Randy in no time. See you later.